Hi guys, it's me, Sunday night. Susan, turn up your sound. I think you were the one that said you couldn't hear me last time. So I see Mr. Bush has come out and endorsed Mr. McCain. Bummer. I was hoping maybe he'd endorse Obama. That guy. He seems to be the most winnable candidate at this point. Might as well vote for him, right? Robin, I assume you probably did. Well, let's see, Maine. That was a caucus, right? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting proposition. A lot of backroom deals, I think, have already been made, and a lot more are probably going to be made if they haven't already. And it looks like this could be a McCain versus Hussein, Osama, Obama, whatever his name is. I guess the name O'Day fits him. And it's highly likely that there will be a Democrat in the White House. Highly likely then that Hussein, or whatever, that guy, will be in the White House. Unless there's some backroom deal cobbled together by Hillary and her ilk. You know, those Clintons, they lie, cheat, and steal to the point where anything is possible when they get in the room and start making a deal. By the way, did you see the bit that Hillary had to loan herself $5 million? Her campaign's going bust. Gee, is this really the person, if she can't manage her own campaign finances, is this really the person you want managing the federal budget? Oh, but I forgot she doesn't care. And we don't care, right? Because we'll just let her raise taxes. I mean, you run out of money, what do? Print more money. Jeez. When you're in that position of running the federal government, I guess you can do that. Okay. Oh, by the way, my shirt, yes. You might be straining to read it, trying to figure it out. You're not yourself today. I noticed the improvement immediately. Okay, now you don't have to try and strain to read the shirt anymore as I move in and out and the camera tries to autofocus, and stay with me. If I'd sit in one spot all the time, I wouldn't have that problem, but I keep moving around. So anyway, election year is going to be good. I see everybody's going to get a tax rebate, even those who don't pay any taxes. Amazing. How does that work? How do people who don't pay taxes get a rebate? I mean, really, when 86% of the federal government's revenue, the income that the federal government gets through taxes, 86% is paid by the top 25% of income earners in the country. So 1/4 of the population providing 86% of the revenue. Why should anybody else get a tax rebate except those 25%? Oh, we could extend it up a little bit. In order to get up to 90% of the federal budget, 97%. So if you look at the figures, 97% of the federal government's revenue through taxes, payroll taxes, is provided by 50% of the income earners. That's almost 100% of the federal government's revenue provided by 50% of the income earners. Folks, where is the other 50% of the people? What are they doing? Why don't you ask yourself, what's your neighbor doing? That means that 1 in 2 Americans aren't carrying the load. 1 in 2. So if you are sitting in your living room, look to the house to the right, look to the house to the left, and think about this. One of those people isn't paying their fair share, basically. Okay, exactly, they probably are, because you guys all live in good neighborhoods and everybody in the neighborhoods pay their taxes, and we all know where the non-taxpayers are and live, right? But nobody wants to say it. We got to be politically correct. The inner city. Oh yeah, those neighborhoods. We can't talk about them because that is profiling and race baiting and all kinds of other things that are not politically correct. But half the people in the country are putting almost 100% of the tax bill. What are the other half doing? They just passed a law, or Bush is about ready to sign it into law, that the tax rebates will go into effect. Checks will start coming out in the mail. Who knows? Somebody said as early as May. I doubt it. Others have said August. Heck, it could be after. It's going to be before the elections, but it could be after Labor Day. But it will definitely be before the elections and may be timed in such a way to fit the Bush agenda of getting McCain elected. Regardless, those people who didn't pay any taxes are going to get a tax rebate. I haven't figured out how in the heck that works. How does someone who didn't pay into a system get a rebate? Think about that. Okay, enough about the elections. One note of encouragement: when November does roll around, go to the polls and vote. It doesn't matter who you vote for. They're all the same. There are only one or two issues dividing McCain from Hillary Hussein, or Obama, whatever. Those two guys. Hillary and Osama are the same. One and the same. It doesn't matter which one of those two you go for. They both have the same agenda. McCain has 90% of the same agenda. So it really doesn't matter who you vote for. I've never been one to vote straight party ticket anyway, even though I'm a registered Republican, because in the state of California you have to register for a party or you don't get to vote. Well, you can register undeclared or independent, but you won't get a Republican or a Democratic ballot when the time comes to vote in this state. So you will in the general election in November, but you don't in the primaries. So I did register Republican, but I don't vote a straight party ticket. I vote for the person. And I have been known to be all over the map when it comes to the party, depending on who's running and what the representative stands for. So just go to the polls and vote. You can't have a voice if you don't, and I don't want to hear any whining or bitching from anybody about anything who doesn't bother to go and vote in November. Besides, there are all kinds of other important issues on the ballot, things like property tax issues and measures to put the police department out of business because we don't like guns in our town, or some stupid thing like that, or the one in Berkeley that says get rid of the Marines, kick out the Marines because we just don't like the military and we're not in favor of anything that has to do with a gun, and la-di-da-di-da and all that happy stuff. Well, I won't go there right now, but I think that you just need to get out and vote. It looks like it's shaping up to be quite a summer. In fact, if Hillary and Osama are still running at the same level that they are now come the convention, which I think is in Kansas City, this summer is going to be nice and warm and toasty. There's going to be one hell of a fight in Kansas City if these two are running neck and neck as they are now. I think only 57 votes. Now, I need to count that today. As of yesterday, when all the results from the caucuses weren't quite in, and I haven't checked it completely today, the scoreboard, but there were only 57 delegate votes, delegate count separating the two yesterday. Not too many. They're very close, what you'd call neck and neck, I think. So, anyway, Sunday evening, as I said before, I'm just out spouting my top again. See some of these things in the news here and there, driving me nuts as usual. Like to kind of get my family on the same page. I don't know if I can, but for the first time in many, many decades, we're probably all going to be voting for the same person. As funny as that may seem. I tell you right now, I refuse to vote for McCain, period. So do not count on me voting for McCain. Remember in the last election, when Bush was up against Kerry, I did not vote for Mr. Bush, but I did vote against Mr. Kerry. And that was a really hard thing for me to do. But, the lesser of two evils. In this case, it doesn't really matter because they're all the same. So, go out and vote in November. Alright, I'll try to send another one of these periodically, maybe next week. I've moved the camera around and made some adjustments. I'm still playing with this thing. It's a work of art. Maybe it's a love of art. I don't know what it is, but it drives me nuts trying to move this thing all the time and try to get angles correct and lighting right. and so I'm not all washed out and looking like a ghost. It is winter time. I kind of have a pale face. I guess we all do. You guys up in Maine have probably not seen the sun for the last 4 or 5 months anyway. I don't know. It doesn't ever get to be summer there, does it, Robin? Okay, I got a couple of phone calls to make. I think one of them's to Robin, and Barbara, I didn't call you this week, but, well, I did actually. You didn't answer your phone. So I'm going to call Robin instead. Later, guys.